Hello everyone, Mondevu here, playing Based of Bermuda, and I'm going to showcase some of my playing as the, how do you pronounce it? The Tropeognathus? Tropeognathus? We say Tropeo, or Trope. Yeah, there's many dinosaur names I can't pronounce, but as a little fun fact, I am the official weather bird for the Hunting Grounds Beast of Bermuda server. So we're going to go ahead and pop into Weatherbird here, and we're going to see if we can catch some weather. This, by the way, is the official Weatherbird skin. And it's not an exclusive skin. This is just, I designed this, so I use it as my Weatherbird skin. So, reasons why I prefer the Tropeo over the Pteranodon. First of all, naturally, I can withstand the weather pretty good. I've got my skills all set to withstand the weather well as well. And I have that one pesky point I just don't quite know what to do with yet. Let's see. Clear skies. Looks like the tide is it's still at normal levels, but a little low. We are going to do some actual reporting at some point. I just wanted to kind of go over some of the fun features about the trope. It can take a better hit than a Pteranodon for starters. And don't get me wrong, Pteranodon is fast, and when you hit right, you can do a lot of damage. So, Pteranodon's not a bad bird. Well, okay, people are going to get mad. Dinosaur, whatever. I call them birds. But the Tropeo is better at handling weather naturally. Especially if you follow kind of this idea, and not only with the 3 out of 3 weather resistance, because immunity to lightning is wonderful, but there's also resilience and stress resistance. If you max these out, you can pretty much stay outside in any weather. And as the official weather bird, that is important. That is very important. So while the rain is still thin here, I'll kind of show you what I mean about those stats. If you check your character screen, my comfort is pretty high considering I'm in bad weather. Now this is not horrible weather, right? But considering I've got the trope's stats maxed out from weather resistance, resilience, and stress resistance, this is pretty good. Like, my icon is still green. I'm still close to 60. You can be out in pretty much any weather on this bird if you max it out right. Just want to take another brief moment to appreciate some of the details on the model, like the way the little wing flaps in the wind and the rain. It's very well done. And once again, just to showcase, this is bad weather. Don't get me wrong, everyone loves a growth storm because of what it does for your dino, but this is bad weather. With my maxed out stats, here's my comfort. I mean, yeah, it's dropping, but it's not dropping to lethal levels. I'll be able to stand this just fine. You see, I've made it to better weather, and already I'm doing a lot better. Like this, it's a great bird for bad weather. This is Weatherbird. All dinos in the lagoon, please be advised. The tide appears to be quite low. This is Weatherbird. All islands, please be advised. The land bridges are available. However, the tide is rising. I repeat, the tide is rising. Please travel safely. This is Weatherbird. All islands, please be advised. We have heavy cloud cover. Chances of rain and or wind. This is Weatherbird. All islands, please be advised. The rain appears to be picking up. All islands, please be advised. The rain appears to be picking up further. Smaller creatures are advised to seek shelter immediately. All islands, please be advised. The only land bridge available is the desert forest connection. All islands, please be advised. We have fog rolling in with possible chance of strong winds. A tornado watch may be in effect in the near future. Please be advised. Alert, we have just had lightning. The storm is increasing. Alert, wind speed's increasing. Oh. Alert, growth storm. All islands, please be advised. A tornado watch is now in effect. Minor flooding seen in desert. All dinos seek high ground immediately. So just so you guys are aware, yes, I have been doing my reports vocally. However, I also do them in the chat when I'm on hunting grounds. That tornado watch is probably going to be lifted pretty soon. Phew! All islands, please be advised, the tornado watch has been lifted. Weatherbird is happy to report clear skies ahead. So this right here is my other trope. Now, he was a Weatherbird for a short while when the hunting ground server was open to the public. And that's why his skin is different, which is why I've since grown a new Weatherbird with the appropriate skin. But this is my survival trope. So I'll show you some of the evasion techniques you can do with this guy. Now, for starters, let's take a look at the tree. Trope does really well with combat, but it also does really well with speed. And if you're like me and you're big on that evasion to survive, this is kind of how you're going to want your build. You're going to want to go 3 out of 3 in strong lungs, and I lucked out and inherited 1, so that's 4. And you're going to want 3 out of 3 in aqua affinity. And you're going to want at least 1 in quick takeoff. I again lucked out and got a +1 in that. So the reason you want these is because quick takeoff helps you get off the ground really well. And I would also highly recommend this color scheme right here. You can get this with like a mid-range kind of yellow-green. And what this does is it blends in like perfectly with the seaweed. Why do I want to blend in with seaweed? Well, if I'm being chased by someone who wants to kill me and I go down here, and usually it's pteranodons that want to kill me, they don't know what to do at this point. Yeah, they can dive underwater too, but look at how long my breath timer is lasting. I'm a little more neon now than I used to be. I think this is this is the skin pre Rex update. But even so, you can kind of see I blend in really well with the seaweed, and the thicker the better. You can see, I think you can see just a little bit more. It's weird. You can see more of the green. There we go. Yeah. So this will have to be tweaked a bit because since the Rex update, I think since the Rex update, the underwater stuff looks a little different. So I don't blend in nearly as well as I used to. But I used to be perfectly matched to the seaweed. So I'll have to try that again with new lighting. And then I can just, but like, okay, so here's not a great example, but like among the seaweed, if you just kind of do this, you really do look like the seaweed. And if you tilt your head up and go into screenshot mode, you're kind of invisible to people who don't really know what to look for. So with that aqua affinity, I can stay under here for as long as I need. You can see how slow my bar is going down. And or this is the, not the aqua affinity, sorry. This is the strong lungs. You want that strong lungs so you can stay underwater, because after a while, your hunters are going to give up when you go in the water. Unless there are other tropes. Then you're going to have a hard time. And even then, I've escaped some tropes doing this too. I've escaped pteranodons more, but I have also escaped tropes. Now, you do run the risk of running into, of course, Moses and Kronos while you're doing this. But, I mean, that's just the nature of how it is, and that's why you want to be camoed and not move because of their keen senses. But yeah, this is a surprisingly viable survival strategy if you are strictly the evasion sort of player. And don't get me wrong, I like getting in it and fighting with people. But as my flyers, because I'm not so good with the combat, I usually go evasion so that I can come back later. So this is a viable strategy. Aqua affinity for the movement speed, strong lungs for the ability to hold your breath, and anything that blends in with something under the water is highly, highly recommended. One thing that I've come across while being Weatherbird is I've kind of learned the game's weather patterns. That's something I kind of didn't know before, because I'm a pretty casual player of Beast of Bermuda. I knew rain equals find shelter if you're small, and it may or may not lead to a bigger storm, in which case you definitely want weather resistance because lightning is a thing. But while being Weatherbird, I specifically was, looking for, changes in the weather to report on. And I know that if you have heavy winds and fog, you have a very high chance of getting a tornado or multiple tornadoes. You can also get tornadoes in foggy and windy weather without rain. I've seen that happen as well. I once caught a storm that had 2 tornadoes with no rain, but it was really windy and really foggy. Keeping up with 2 of those was quite difficult. Here's some humorous coincidence for you. It's cloudy and rainy in the game. It is also cloudy and possibly about to rain where I am sitting. Ooh, that was a lightning strike that tried to get me. This is why it's important to have 3 out of 3 weather resistance.